I haven't seen enough of him. I've only seen him fight one time. Mavshevsky is a guy who's first off, he's a dedicated athlete. That's most important. Second off, he's a gifted athlete. He has all the tools. Now, as he rises through the ranks and has more and more success, can he keep his head? Can he be a strong family man like Tomaszu Adamku? All of these things are important. I mean, Galata had a lot of success, and he kind of lost his I don't want to say his mind, but he lost whatever it is that makes you be a champion. Same thing happened to Oliver McCall, who became heavyweight champion of the world, and he couldn't handle it, got involved with drugs. And now look at this. This is Oliver McCall's heavyweight championship of the world ring that he gave me when he knocked out Lennox Lewis. It's a wonderful gift, and the reason I wear that is because it reminds me how thin the division is from being the heavyweight champion of the world and being in jail or incarcerated because of drugs or other physical problems. And he had that mental breakdown when he fought the second time against Lennox Lewis. So I wear that ring in dedication. See what a fine line it can be. My other ring that I wear is my own Hall of Fame ring when I was inducted in the Hall of Fame, and they're great souvenirs to have, and I'm very proud of the fact that I've been kind of honored to be considered amongst the very best in what I do in the world. It's wonderful to get that kind of recognition. But going back to your fighter from Poland, I think I want to see more of him. I met him today for the very first time. I interviewed him. He's a lovely fella, and I think you start out with having, a great athlete, and then you mix in a really good guy. And like Adamku, the family, the ability, the dedication, all of that will come together, and only time will tell. I can't predict that. If I could, I'd be a very wealthy man, because I live in Las Vegas, and I can bet on every fight, and I do.
Right, sir. Last question. Do you hear any times name of Paul Wallach?
I know the name Paul Wallach, but I don't know much about him, so I don't want to try to comment on something that I'm not really familiar with for the Polish people. I want to see more of Paul myself.
Right, I understand. Sir, can we read your book? Just tell us.
I've written a book, but my life is much more complicated than just boxing. I have a life in the military. I had a life where I worked in clandestine services for the United States government, and I wrote about all of this and these things. And I have my life in the cattle business. I have farms in Ireland. I have farms in Australia, New Zealand. I raise cattle in Argentina, Brazil. In the United States, I have a bull operation in Mississippi and a couple of farms in Nevada. And that's my avocation. I love the cattle business. And any of you farmers that are watching in Poland, if you keep cattle, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I never met a cattleman any place in the world that didn't love cattle, and I'm the same way. And so that's my avocation, and while I make a little money at that, broadcasting supports everything. So, these are the phases of my life. And I wrote the book one time, and my lawyer said, if you release this, you're going to jail. So I'll leave that in your hands. So my book is locked up. In that, by the way, I predicted that we would have the new Pope. And at the time I wrote my book, one of the greatest Polish men of all time, Pope John Paul II, was the Holy Father in the Vatican. I knew him. I was in his apartment. I have a photograph with my parish priest, Father McCabe, who's a chaplain in the military, the same military outfit I'm in. And just recently, I had lunch last Sunday in Constantinople or Istanbul with His Holiness Bartholomew I, who's the patriarch of the Orthodox Church. So I've been quite lucky to meet these extraordinary men. But going back to Poland, when Cardinal Ratzinger would meet with the Holy Father on a daily basis, we knew that there was a good chance that he would become the next Pope. And about 6 months before he became the new Pope and the sad death of Pope John Paul II, I had lunch in his apartment in the Vatican. So I've had extraordinary things like that have happened in my life, and it's all happened because of the fame and recognition I get from boxing. I don't seek the fame and recognition. I love the sport, and to me, when that red light goes on and I go on television, I just consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
Exactly, sir. Thank you so much. I'm so happy. I still from your life, 20 minutes. Thank you so much.
No, you didn't steal time. I'm glad to share the great gifts that God has given me with the Polish people and be on Polish television. And by the way, my military company, which is the oldest military company in the United States, is called the Ancient and Honorable Artillery Company of Massachusetts. The captain commanding is a Polish guy by the name of Paul Koval. He's the captain next year, and he is taking us to Poland and to Ireland. So I'll be in uniform parading in the streets of Poland someplace next year with my military company. And when we get close to that, I hope you call me and interview me, because it's this time, the last week in September, first week in October every year. And I'll tell you all about the military side of my life, which is also quite extraordinary.
Perfect. That's perfect. Thank you so much, sir. God bless you.
Thank you, and the pleasure's mine. And God bless Poland and the Polish people.
Thank you.